Hello and good evening, my dear friends, or should I better say, dear data science heroes. Welcome to day number 29 of the 66 Days of Data with KNIME live stream challenge, where we stream live every single day and take you from zero to hero in data science in only 66 days using the open source free tool KNIME. So my name is Phil Kowalski. I am a certified KNIME expert, and I am on that journey together with you. And today we are going to have a little bit of a theoretical lesson or a theoretical session. But before we do that, I wanted to ask you for a favor. Could you please leave a comment or like and subscribe to my channel or follow me no matter where you are following me, because that helps me to furthermore create more of these videos, and it helps the algorithm to share this with more people. So where are we today? What are we going to do today? Well, let me show you. It's just quickly switch to the screen. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. It looks good from a live streaming perspective. Hey, can I touch this? But that's not what I wanted to do. I just would like to have it like this. So here we are on the website that we already know. It's on the KNIME blog, the data exploration in 66 days of data with KNIME. And yesterday we started the sixth section, or a sixth category if you want, and that is plots and charts, univariate analysis. So if you remember, if we just have a look at KNIME, what we did yesterday, we created that top 20 table here, right? So today we are going to talk a little bit about univariate, bivariate, and multivariate visualization. And in the thumbnail to this video, I said your thumbs are shit, and here's why, and why you probably should use these instead. Well, the thing is, just because there is just another additional feature you can add to your chart does not necessarily mean you should. And the most obvious thing that I'm referring to is there was a time when everybody in Microsoft Excel did basically do 3D charts. Quite honestly, that is crap. Don't do it. Please don't do it, because a 3D view does not add any value. So what I want to share with you today is a great other article I see on the KNIME blog that is about visual data exploration in 3 steps. And what I really like about this article is they do not only discuss charts and which charts to use for what, but they also tell you the why. And because why is data visualization important? And here in a nutshell, visualization helps you to understand the data better. So humans are usually heavily wired towards visuals, meaning people understand images sometimes up to 60,000 times faster than they do understand text, for example. So visualizations help you to understand data. They also help you as a data provider, if you wish, to communicate results and information in a much better and an easier digestible way. They help to extract knowledge far easier. So you could basically see, if you look at a pie chart and you see 2 slices, one is 23% and the other 77%, you much quicker get which one is the important or the big part, if instead of just reading these numbers, 23 and 77. And the part that I like most, pictures, visualizations, charts help you to tell a story. And yes, data should tell a story. I'm strictly convinced or strongly convinced of that, because if you usually use data to sell an idea, you see, I come from a procurement background. When I'm negotiating, I'm trying to sell a story. I'm not just saying to a supplier in a negotiation, please reduce your prices no matter what. I tell you a story. I'm trying to sell you my idea, why you should comply to my request, and why you should follow this. And I do this by doing a story, right? And data really helps you to tell these stories. And it also helps you to make data-driven decisions, especially in complex environment. So there are some common visualization principles we should always consider when creating the outputs. I would love to start with the second one: set goals. What is it you want to achieve with the visualization of your data? Ask this question first and ask it often. That's my take on it. Also, know your audience. In some cases, and we will see that in a moment in KNIME itself, in some cases, it is not necessary to describe your data because your audience already knows about it. Also, select the right visualization type, and we come to that when we look at the three different modalities of the data that we're looking at. Also, try to simplify. Once again, it's the same than what I just told you about the 3D charts. That does not benefit anyone. Yes, it might benefit that it is a feature and it might benefit Microsoft, but when telling a data story, having an isometric view on a 3D column chart, quite honestly, guys, that's crap. That does not help anyone. So simplify, simplify, simplify. Also, if you know that your audience knows what data you're talking about because it's in the heading, maybe you don't even have to label it, right? If it's in the heading, and we will see that in a moment, that's good enough. Simplify. Emphasize. Also, there are some points, some outliers, some discoveries, some results that you probably want to share with others. So make sure you emphasize this data. And here, once again, we have storytelling, right? So storytelling, create charts that do make sense. If we build a dashboard, don't just build one chart after the other and always use a different one because you can. No, tell a story. Maybe have a table at the or have a table at the bottom, have a heading at the top, and then you have some sliders, and we pretty surely will learn how to do that with KNIME. But make sure that the top to bottom scrolling through such a dashboard does make sense for your audience. So not just putting stuff in there because you can, right? Okay, so that's the preparation part of the data story, if you want. Let's have a look at the three modalities. Basically, we have unimodal data or univariate data, bivariate data, and multivariate data. So univariate data, the simplest form of analysis based on one variable. If you look at this chart here, the blue one, you probably might say to yourself, if you're following that series for quite some time, I've seen that before. So let's just quickly switch over to KNIME. And of course, we have seen that before because we use that here in our dashboard with the histograms. This is all univariate data. And also another example, when we look at the preparation, we see the values here, we see the highest and the lowest here, and we see how it's basically split up. It is not necessary to add more information to such a chart, right? Especially when you look at this specific dashboard in KNIME and how we build it. If we just hover over it, we already see that there are 71,570 items with the valence of 0.55, right? Or just like this, instrumentalness. There are 484 something thousand values with an instrumentalness in the bin of 0.05. And so this is univariate data, and it is basically, these are pretty good charts right out of the box. If you want, you can add additional things. For example, you can say what liveness. So let's just say here liveness values, liveness count. But quite honestly, if we look at that, does that add any benefit? Just look at it. Just look at this chart. Does it make this chart more helpful, better to understand? Probably not. So let's get rid of that. Simplify. Simplify, simplify, simplify. And what I really like, and you have seen that probably while I was introing it, KNIME is really like up to date. You enter it and it's immediately there, right? No need to save or anything. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's have a look at the next modality of the next section of data. That's bivariate data. So that is more for a little bit complexer analysis, data in which analysis is based on two variables per observation simultaneously. And if we just look at the scatter plot, it's basically stuff like you might have, for example, at the x-axis here, you might have age groups, and here you maybe have money spent, and then you basically have a relation which age group spent how much money, or which age group did the most revenue, or which age group purchased the most, if you, instead of having summing up the revenue, if you count the orders, or this kind of stuff. So you have two intersections, and that's usually this x and y axis scatter plot is a great example here for doing this kind of data. And as you can see, you can even, and it's a little bit hard to recognize here, you can even add a third dimension. The question is, should you do it? Because you see, we have x and y, and then we have colors. Maybe the colors are the age groups. Maybe this is geographical data and this is sales data. Maybe, maybe not. The thing is, adding more stuff that's not immediately understandable will make this chart harder to understand. You will do yourself not a favor. You will get more questions back from your audience. Hey, I don't understand. Why are these ones red? And you rather, I would, if you ask me, I would rather prefer to have two simple charts where, from a story perspective, one leads to the next, rather than having one super complex chart. Maybe different colors, maybe bubble sizes in a scatter plot, right? I'm not so sure. Those might look sophisticated if you're a chart analyst. The question is, does your audience understand your message? What is your message? What is your story? Always, and as I said before, repeatedly ask yourself the question. And then we have the third section, the multivariate data, which is more complex, and data in which analysis is based on 3 or more variables. If you just look through these, you also see a kind of evolution from univariate to multivariate, right? This one, I mean, that's even in this small thumbnail, you could maybe roughly understand what this is about, and maybe also what this is about. Quite honestly, just looking at that small picture with, what do we have, like 5 different dimensions in here? Probably not. And these need a lot of explanation. As I said before, I'd rather prefer to create 2 more simple charts and leading from one to the other with the story. And you can do this with headings and wherever you do it, no matter if you do it in KNIME or PowerPoint or Power BI or wherever. You can always add explanatory text and lead through it. People tend to read from left to right and from top to bottom. So you lead through your dashboard, you lead through your charts with a story, rather than having a super complex one. So then we have here a section that's also very recommended, is choose the visualization type. We have tables, we have charts, and we have dashboards. And dashboards could be summarized as a combination of the previous 2 ones. And here is some nice information also about each of these. And of course, they also promote a little bit their KNIME web portal and the KNIME server, which is a great tool. That's their premium software that KNIME sells. Basically, what you can do is you can provide a data app, just like our KNIME dashboard that we build here, or any other kind of dashboard that you might want to build, and provide it as a data app on a server. So people do not need KNIME. People do not need to download and understand KNIME and need to know what a workflow is and execution and all this kind of stuff. They rather just go to a website and then basically see the dashboard. And these dashboards can also be dynamic. So KNIME Server is a great solution, but I'm biased here. So head to some of the salespeople of KNIME if you want to know more about KNIME Server. I'm just a simple user of this technology here, so to say. So basically, that sums up today's session of looking at univariate, bivariate, or bivariate and multivariate visualizations. Tomorrow, we're going to put this into action. So you will not find upload to the KNIME Hub today. If you by any means want to see any of the previous workflows, you just go to hub.knime.com /Kowisoft, which is KOWISOFT. There you find the public space. It's a folder, and within that you see another folder, 66 days of data, where you can find most of the later more complex workflows that we have created together in these live sessions. All right, so make sure to subscribe and follow me, as I said before, because it helps me to create more of this content, and also it helps the algorithm to recommend my videos to more people, so more people can become data savvy. And tomorrow we are going to create, based on the most recent workflow status that we did, where we had the top 20 most prolific artists, we are going to put this into a table view, and we're going to colorize it. So that's it for today. Make sure you tune in tomorrow when we continue in our journey in 66 days of data with KNIME. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.